Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahe. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. May He protect us both, the teacher and the student, together. May He nourish us both together. May we both together acquire vigor arising from knowledge. Let our study be faithful and invigorating. May we not have ill feeling against each other. Om, peace, peace, peace.
Namaskar, and a very good morning to all the viewers in YouTube. A very good morning to all our participants of today's Ideathon competition. This is the 47th year of such cultural competition being organized by the Ramakrishna Mission Shillong. This year, it is jointly organized by Ramakrishna Mission Shillong and the Department of Arts and Culture, Government of Meghalaya, celebrating year-long Amrit Mahotsav, that is 75th year of independence. And in Meghalaya, we also celebrate the 50th year of the statehood of Meghalaya. In fact, our cultural competition, online cultural competition this year would be concluding today with this Ideathon competition. We started our cultural competition on the 7th of July with mocktail competition, that is the other form of debate in a different style. And we'll be concluding today. We'll be announcing the results of Ideathon soon after the completion of the competition. And also, we'll be announcing the results of essay writing competition and content writing competition just after completion of this Ideathon competition. Just to tell about what is the Ideathon competition all about. It's basically an implementable idea. It could be anything with, in respect of science or literature. It could be on development of infrastructure for tourism or anything. It's basically an idea which is implementable with, they will have to present along with the infrastructure available or infrastructure development, financial implications. And it's all about how it's going to help India in its endeavor of Atmanirbhar Bharat. We have altogether 6 participants to join for this competition. And to judge this competition, we have got a distinguished panel of 3 judges. May we have the privilege to introduce them to the house, to all the participants, to all the viewers. May we also request Assistant Secretary and in charge of Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda Cultural Center, where from this competition is being streamed live, to kindly felicitate our judges with a token of gratitude. We are so very thankful to all our judges. They are all very important and very busy persons, but they have carved out some time to spare with us. And may I request Dr. Ayan Bhattacharya kindly to accept his memento from Secretary Maharaj. Assistant Secretary Revered Swami Divya Swarupanandaji Maharaj. Dr. Atanu Banerjee, both from NIT Meghalaya. And our Sandipan Chakravarti from UTM. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, all the judges. We are so very grateful to you for your coming here and taking the charge. So we'll be giving you 10 minutes of time initially to present your paper with the PPT, PowerPoint presentation. And after that, it will be open to the judges to ask you questions. So wishing all the participants all the very best, that you perform the best And for your information, obviously we will be giving you at least 1, 2, 3 prizes, and let's see if there is a recommendation. Maybe all of you will get something or the other. Otherwise, also each and every one of you will be getting a participation certificate, which will be digital and would be available in our website for you to download. Okay, so we start with our first participant from Nagarcoil from Tamil Nadu, ST Hindu College. Participant is Ashwath P. So may I request Ashwath P to come online from Nagarcoil in Tamil Nadu and join for this competition.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, Ashwath. Please go on, carry on. Please share the screen.
Sir, is my screen?
Yes,
Is my
yes. It's clear and it's visible.
okay, sir.
You can
So,
also come onto the picture. If you want, you can also come onto the picture.
how it is possible?
I'm speaking from the judges panel. So your time starts now. You can speak the whole thing within 10 minutes. Okay. So we start your time now.
Okay, sir. Fine.
And you may put on your video if you would like to. Yeah.
So, a warm and wholehearted welcome to everyone. So, great greetings from my side. So, to all the dignitaries on stage, as well as my peer group members who are the participants of this PowerPoint presentation program organized by Ramakrishna Mission, Shillong. So, first of all, I would like to thank the Almighty as well as the Ramakrishna Mission Shillong, who provided me such a beautiful opportunity to present my ideas for a betterment India.
Ashwath, please. Yeah. Okay. It's fine. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. Keep
So
going
today
on.
I would like to share my ideas that is based on agricultural byproducts. We all know that India is a country which is very best that depends on agriculture sector as its prime backbone. We all know our former president Abdul Kalam, who needs India to be a democratic and self-sustainability nation among the world nation and to withstand in its own stability. So for that, he says that in major sectors that India needs development. So among that, first of all, the first thing which we would like to see is agricultural and food processing. As I said earlier, agriculture and food processing are very essential because without agriculture sector, none a sector works. And the next thing is all about education and healthcare. So the next thing is of information and communication technology. The next thing is
Ashwath, just interrupting. Can you put your slide in the slideshow mode? F5. Yeah, this is the first one. Yeah. Go to your slide. Next slide. Yeah, fine. Yes.
Hide that slide sharing icon. Message.
Yeah, and yeah, press that hide button. Hide. There's a hide. You can see.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Because we are live on YouTube, so we. Yes. Yes. Go on.
so now we are going to see off regarding the agricultural commodities. as I said earlier, agriculture commodities Sir, sorry because this in slideshow mode it keeps on moving. I have to focus on a
Okay.
particular slide.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Continue.
Okay, so the prime thing which we would like to see is all about agriculture, which is considered to be the backbone of our nation. So as I said earlier, it's the lines said by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Not only it is the dream of APJ Abdul Kalam, it is also the prime motto of our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. He too decided that India's development should be lies with the development of agriculture. So the agriculture commodities, which is very in our day-to-day sector, the types of agriculture commodities which we used to take is rice, milk, wheat, guavas, bananas, and potatoes. So India is considered to be the largest producer of rice in the world. So while comparing to the in milk, 22% of milk production among the world, and wheat, we are the second largest producer with 1.2 million tons of durum wheat, and Goa, which is also a most important product that we used to cultivate and export to the foreign nations. So, and see, bananas, we have 15 to 20 varieties of bananas that we produce in our country. And next, potatoes, this is the third largest producer around the world. So these are some things which we already knows, because we are a agriculture dependent nation, and our development is along with the agriculture development. So we will not focus on this agriculture byproducts. We, if for example, if we consume a sugar cane, for example, if we consume a sugar cane, we used to extract the juices, we used to extract the sugar material, and we just throw it out of. Uh, for considering India's betterment, we need to focus. We need a lot of focus in this agriculture sector area. So to earn a better economy, to make ourselves economically much more stable, since India is considered to be the largest agriculture producer among the world nation, it is needed. So the product should be extracted, and we should add value to it. You could ask how it is possible for you to add value to a product. So just let me tell you these things. So by the extraction of sugarcane, so we'll consider this sugarcane. We are taking this sugarcane juices and sugar material, and we just throw it off. Other than that, we are having bagases, filter mats, and molasses. These things. So I am just, this is just for example, and moreover, more products we are having in this agriculture which we could focus on. So this bagases, actually this bagases is a type it's an extraction from sugarcane alone. So for example, if we take 200 million tons of fresh weight of sugarcane, we could get 60 million tons of bagases. Actually this bagases is nothing, it is a leftover after the extraction of sugarcane. So this bagases we can use in the preparation of, we could get petroleum products from this. So in the manufacturing of paper too, we are using this bagases. And other than that, we could see the seaweed. The seaweed is a easily available product in India, and by using this seaweed, we just use it for a fodder for plants. But other than that, we could use this food packages manufacturing, plastic cups manufacturing, plastic bottle manufacturing, and food container manufacturing, etc. Because since we are getting everything, every raw material from the nature, its resources, we must, because our parents, our forefathers has left the enough amount of natural resources to us, but we people doesn't listen to them, and we just simply exploiting the natural resources without making full use of it. So it is could be a better way if we use our natural resources in a well sophisticated manner, and it is needed for everyone to conserve the natural resources for our future generation too. And the next, for example, we could see corn also. So corn, not only taking maize from this, We do have soap, insecticide, animal feed, bakery products, cooking oil, so alcoholic beverages. So these things also we could get it from them. And other than that, let me tell you something. We could also get this molasses. From this molasses, it is exported. Nearly, we could earn $25 to $30 of amount for per ton. We are getting $25 to $30 per ton, and we in this we could consider this fiber cellulose. This fiber cellulose is not only used as fodder, but also other than that we are getting bagases from this fodder, and molasses also we are extracting from this. This molasses is used for the preparation of this petroleum materials. Nearly 16 million tons of uh, molasses we are obtaining from 200 million tons of fresh weight of cane tops. And we could also take this electricity, because now the greatest material which we lack is among the material raw materials which is sufficient to run a company. For example, we all knows that the petrol cost is getting higher and higher, and we are not able to purchase petroleum in a very low cost. So other than for the in that scenario also we need to find an alternative resources for this. So for that also we could use this sugar cane. Why you could see this furfural is a technique which applied in this, which is for used for it is considered to be a solvent which is used in the lubrication of oils. So from this also we could get some petroleum chemical metals. So this critic acid, we would know this critic acid. It is a type of petroleum product alone. It is used in a generation of machines. So this is exported to $528 per ton of molasses. If we export 1 ton of molasses, we could get $528 for each ton. So in countries like Hawaii and Australia, they are depending on this sugarcane. This sugarcane is considered to be a most renewable thing for this electricity generation. So why not we people in India could try that also, because electricity and petroleum products are in high demand nowadays. So this my idea is to get fulfillment of all type of basic needs by this agriculture product. Simply wasting agriculture product, in the sense we will not get the fullest use of the agriculture product what we think. Since we have only a limited and amount of agriculture raw materials, it is better to use these types of sugar cane. So this bagases, I have already said of these bagases. This bagases for this electricity generation we could use bagases. So these bagases is an extraction of sugar cane. So when we add this bagases in a high pressure boiler and condensing turbo alternator, we could generate nearly 400 kilowatt of current per 1 ton of bagases that we extract from that. And other than that, we could also get methane. So methane, for example, we all know methane we extract from this earth materials, but this methane could also be extracted from this cellulose. Cellulose is a fiber which is available with the sugar cane. Nearly 415 liters of methane we could get with the help of the digester we could get. So we all just come to the conclusion. I have already said that agricultural byproduct, agriculture sector should play a major role for the development of India. The development of agriculture along with the development of India could be a good progress for every Indian. Since India is a agricultural based nation, it is the dream of our father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi, who do consider that agriculture sector is the prime thing. So I conclude my points with a request: encourage the manufacturing of agricultural byproducts and empower the nation. Thank you everyone for providing me such a super opportunity to explore myself. Thank you, Anandal. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Ashwath, for your wonderful presentation. We have a few questions for you. You have suggested a very good idea about this agricultural byproducts and how do I use it to earn some even foreign exchange for the country. But to convert, say, sugarcane into usable products or to generate electricity, what do you think would be the expenses necessary? How much does the government need to invest on this? Do you have any idea?
No, sir. Sorry, I don't have any idea.
Okay. Okay, the other judges will be asking you right now.
Am I audible to you, Ashwath? I hope.
Yeah, sir. Fine, audible.
Okay, just I would like to put forward one simple query about your presentation. Actually, you have focused into the agro-industrial products, right?
Yeah, sir.
So, using the agricultural byproducts or wastes into to have some industrial
sir.
value.
Yes.
I found you pointing out something about biogas, biofuels. We're
Yes, sir.
trying to
Methane.
search an alternative resource for the petro products, right?
Yes, sir.
Just would you like to highlight the basic principle out of that? Just working principle, basic principle. Take any example, take any agro-industrial waste, and let us all know how do you convert it? How do you convert it in a as
So,
much simplified as possible process?
yeah, sir. In biogas preparation, in the sense, we could see in this agriculture sector areas, we are getting this agricultural product as a waste, which means rotten tomatoes and these types of some left out agricultural products. When we compose inside a big turner like that, so after a sufficient amount of time, we are able to produce some gases which is already it is in usage, which is used for the manufacturing of gases, which is used for cooking. Even vehicle filling gases also they are extracting from this biogases.
Oh, okay, it's okay, sir.
Avaz, your
Yes, sir.
presentation was very good. I just would like to ask you one very simple thing. Have you ever thought about the marketability of the products, the byproduct that you'll be getting? What about the marketability of the product? Because
Some
instantly the market people will not accept it. So how do you propose to market the products?
some marketability, these agricultural products we are already cultivating sugar canes, we are already cultivating corn. So it is agricultural products are already in use, but it is the thing we have to make better use of it. So if we are wearing this cloth, if I am wearing this cloth is already in use. So instead of wearing the cloth which I purchase regularly. Other than that, I can use this other material cloths. So both are cloths. The same thing. Petroleum is also a product. This agriculture product is also a product. So petroleum, in the sense, we won't get petroleum after long period. It is said only for 40 years of terms. Petroleum product will be available. So after 40 years, what we will do? We are uh, enjoying the 75th year of independence, so we should be self-stable. Our India should be a superpower. It is the dream what Abdul Kalam said. So as of that, considering from the agricultural products, we could make changes. The change that should start from a single man. Everyone should follow it, because we all know that agricultural products are easily available in local markets and it is available to everyone. We are agricultural dependent nation. We should remember that we are agricultural dependent nation and we have all natural resources in our hand. As of Vivekananda said, we have our own strength. We doesn't want to depend on anyone. So it is the change that comes from this agricultural raw materials, agricultural commodities are permanent and they are strong enough to run our nation. Thank you, sir.
Okay, that's it.
Yes, thank you very much, Ashwath, for the presentation and also for answering to our questions.
Thank you, sir.
So, thank you very much, and we'll move over to the next participant now. Yes, you can log out. Okay.
These are all college students. College students. So Ashwath, thank you so much. He has joined from a very far off place, Nagarkoil, which is very near to Kanyakumari. Thank you so much and congratulations to you for that beautiful presentation. And may we call upon our next participant, who is going to be Rahul Ghosh from St. Anthony's College, Shillong. Rahul Ghosh. He will be presenting from this venue itself, from Vivekananda Cultural Center.
Okay, so now we will begin the Ideathon competition with our next participant, that is Rahul Ghosh. So over to you, Rahul.
Yeah, Rahul, your time starts now.
A very good afternoon to all the judges and everyone presented here. My name is Rahul Ghosh, a student of St. Anthony's College. So today I'll be presenting my idea, which is Books Easy. So let's talk about a mission. So Books Easy wants to create the world's largest online bookstore. It wants to make books available to every human being. It's our mission. So the problem. Uh, Before every solution, there comes a problem. Let's talk about the problem first. Each year, millions of students appear for various competitive central, state, board exams. Think about the volume of books held by this set of students. So, are these books used or recycled? The sad part is no. By the survey which I did a month ago, I found out that only 4 to 5% of the books are being reused or are being given to others, and the others 95% or 96% are being sold to scrap dealers for merely 5 to 10 rupees, or they are being kept to chewed by rats. And now all these books are just waiting to go obsolete as the exam gets over. Does it seem justified that these worthy books go for nothing in return to the owner? So I come up with a solution. The solution is Booksy. Booksy is a web platform which works on a C2C business model where users, especially students and readers, can buy, sell, and donate their used books. It also provides various subscription plans where users can take books of every genre on rent for a monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, and annual basis. The subscription plan will help the competitive exam giving students and daily readers, as they can read lot of books for their desired duration and without spending much. Last few weeks, I encountered one of my friends. He asked that he wanted to read books. So he wanted 3 books, but it will cost him for at least 12 to 1400 rupees. But with the coming up of Books Easy, you can get those books without spending 1400 rupees, and you will get for the 1/3 of its original price. Why books easy? Almost everyone likes reading, but no one likes to spend a lot, and a lot cannot afford. But with books easy, one can get books at a very cheaper price. And with our subscription plans, one can book can get books on rent for the 1/3, as I said, for the 1/3 of its original price. It helps to connect the students, and it satisfies both the graduating and the entering student, as they would get much more value of the used books. It's a win-win situation. How to use books easy? So in 3 simple steps, you can just log in into our website, find the books you need, explore a vast library of books, both academic and non-academic. Second, you can sell or give away your old books. One thing you can do, you can sell your books for a discounted rate, and if you don't want to sell, you can donate to other students. You can free up for your space, and you can fund for your next book. The most important thing is to connect. You can connect with all the readers and students across the country. Our target market consumers are 300 plus million students and millions of readers. How books easy will earn revenue. So we mainly primarily earn revenue from our subscription plan, which will be monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, and annual basis. For a monthly basis, we'll give 3 books for 300 rupees, which is very cheap. Quarterly, 9 books, 700 rupees. Half-yearly, 18 books, or 1200 rupees, and annually, 36 books, 2000 rupees. And we can later on, when our website will grow, we can earn from Google AdSense, sponsored links, and sponsored listings. Environmental impact. So I did a research, and I found out that people cut down 15 billion trees each year, and out of which 4 billion trees are, or 35% of the total trees are cut down around the world, are used in paper. 1 tree is used to create 62.5 books. And in Meghalaya, we have almost 120 plus schools and 60 plus colleges. And think about the volume of books held by these students. And the volume of, we can save a single tree by using 62 books. So by reusing millions of books, we can save a lot of trees. So I'll end with that. Thank you, sir. Thank you, judges.
It was a very nice concept that you had given about book easy. Now, as I see, you need to make this idea happen. What are the resources you need in terms of expertise?
I only need a workable a website which is working. For that, I need some software engineers who can create my website in a very optimized way, where users can easily log and do their can avail our services. And we only need initially we need a go down where we can keep our used books, and the new books we will be as we will be giving for the subscription plans.
And this giving and collection of books, how will that be done?
So I've spoken to one of the delivery executive delivery company Picker. They said that they will be merge with us for the distribution of the used books for our subscription plan, and for the for the C2C platform, it will be the users will only decide the place, and they can take a transaction.
Okay, thank you. Atanu sir.
Okay. Sure. Now you must be knowing one thing on the background of these pandemic situations. Now many online teaching learning platforms are available where here the books across the boards are available online and at free of cost. Then how your concept will compete with that?
I did a survey last year. I found out that people don't like to read books online. They prefer physical books. So these books are will be present physically, physical books. I won't.
Means hard copy.
Yes, yes, sir. It will be hard copy. So users can sell their hard copy to another user, and with our subscription plan, we will buy new books, and we can sell. We can give hard copies to them on rent, and we can take back those books to us again. So we are primarily focusing on the hard copies only, not on online books.
Okay.
Rahul, I would like to ask you one thing. It's a little bit. I'll go for the micro details. Can you tell me? See the books. We have told about the books. Now, what type of books? Is it some for educational purposes, for engineering, or fiction or non-fiction? Can you please elaborate on that?
So
suppose I am an engineering fourth semester student of BTech Electronics. Now I need my course curriculum for electronics.
So our app will be optimized in such a way where users can log in, and there will be options where they can go like are you student of engineering? They can click to that which year and which majors, and they can check the list if these books are available or not. And they can even there's an option of request where users can request these books to make to us, and we can make it available for them.
Okay.
That's
How long will you take to complete the project?
first, it will take 5 to 6 months.
5 to 6 months. And what will be the cost involved? Approximate cost involved?
10 to 12 lakhs. Right. With the creation of app, it will take 2 to 5 lakh, and for the initial go down and all, it will take more 4 to 5 lakhs, and other costs will also.
How much? 4 to 5 lakhs. Okay. So that with that much money, you can start the project.
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, any more questions, judges?
That's all.
All right. So thank you, Rahul. That was indeed a very beautiful idea. And yes, thank you. Moving on, we have our next participant, Jayanta Chanda, also from St. Anthony's College. He will also be presenting from the VCC Center itself.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to the judges. My name is Jayanta Chanda. I'm from St. Anthony's College. I'm currently pursuing Bachelor of Commerce with Marketing as my honors. So I have brought in an idea which is very simple in its form, but it is something that is a requirement in today's generation and today's generation and for the youths today. It is called stockishly. Now the word stockishly is quite interesting because the word stockishly came in from the word stockholders, which is investors, and this idea is mostly based on investors and entrepreneurs, the ones who are starting business like me and like the other performers who came in. So stockishly, the future is built on the flow of new ideas. This is a quote that needs to be elaborated more because the future that we are going into is the future that is going to be made by us, the ideas that we bring in. So it is quite stockishly, and I think you would be understanding the word meaning of stockishly, and you would know that it is quite stockishly. So stockishly shall be an app which will aim at a very simple process of taking initiatives. It is an app where our generation lacks the lacks the platform or the atmosphere that needs to be there for an entrepreneur, for a business, so for someone with an idea. So we don't have a platform, we don't have a atmosphere for in India that needs to be acknowledged. So this idea, this app, there is an app will be built which is going to be helping the entrepreneurs and the investors. This app brings the entrepreneurs and investors under one roof, and that's basically it. An idea, if stretched too much, then it becomes a chaos, and chaos and business don't go hand in hand. So with that, I start now. When I talk about a particular app or a particular idea, you must be having 3 or 4 questions. That is a basic key questions. What is the purpose of Stockishly? Why? How will Stockishly function? Why Stockishly, and what brings the idea of Stockishly? So what is the purpose of Stockishly? Stockishly is definitely going to fill a gap that is between the potential investor and a potential entrepreneur. We know that there are thousands of business ideas floating everywhere because we in India are the youngest minds. We have the youngest generation. So we know that we have the ideas with us, but we don't have the atmosphere or we don't get the opportunity that needs to be there for an entrepreneur. So Stockishly can prove to be very useful for these ideas, and maybe countries like India can gain a lot from this. So how is this app going to look, and how is it going to be made? Stockishly will be the UI will be like front end will be developed by using XML and JavaScript. Will have the tabs displayed for an investor and particularly for an entrepreneur. A separate option to check the credit score of an investor and a credit score of the entrepreneur, because we know that any person who is coming up with an idea need not to be a professional or a good one, because we in India are a country with fake more than the real. So we need to have a credit score for every investor that is listed, and also for every entrepreneur that is listed. So the back end will be made with the logic that will be used is Kotlin will be used. So this is how the app is going to be. It is going to be a very simple app, which is going to be filling the gaps between the entrepreneur and the investor. What happens? We in India have a lot of entrepreneurs in our country, but what happens if I am a particular entrepreneur and I'm going to start a new business, then I don't know where to go first. I don't know where I'll be getting an investor, particular investor, potential investor will be interested. So we don't get the opportunity for that. So this app will be brought in that way. This is the entrepreneur, and this is going to fill the gap between the entrepreneur and the investor. So what is the revenue plan? Because any plan, any idea needs to have a revenue plan, because we are not doing anything for free, and because this app is definitely based on a social cause, but it also has to generate its profit so that it can go a longer way. So the revenues that will be there is in app purchase. Any app that is our app that will be launched will definitely have some cost to it, because if someone is interested in building a business for them, then they actually need to be serious about it, and they actually need to spend a little more. It will be kept a very low amount for that in app purchase. The subscription for the app. Suppose if someone has an idea but is not getting the proper, it is not filled properly, it is not sustained properly, then he will be keeping the idea in that app itself, and then he has to take a subscription so that he can keep the idea going. So the third will be subscription for per connection. So what happens if an entrepreneur is there, if an investor is also there, there needs to be a connection that has to be built so that this can go for a longer time. So that connection will be utilizing that, and will also take a little amount from them as well for this connection. So the fourth one will be endorsing or giving out advertisement, which is a simple way of giving out advertisement in any apps. So why Stockishly? Today we have everything that we need. We have every solution for a problem. We have every comfort with us. But this app is built for someone who does not want to be comfortable. And I'm talking about people who are successful. Successful people do not like comfort that much. So this is for them to actually gain some uncomfortness and some to build a platform for themselves as well. So Stockishly would be beneficial for both the investors and the entrepreneurs for a longer time. what brings the idea of Stockishly? Why have I started this project, and why do I want to make it a reality? We are in the 21st century with the brightest minds all around. With the increasing competition, there is also an increase in the challenges and potentials. If with the increase in population, we also have challenges in finding the investor. So this app is going to make the process very easy, and it will be making it very short. So the idea of Stockishly was brought into light because we believe that to serve the country well, we need to actually uplift the generation with minds. So I would like to conclude it by saying that beginnings always hide themselves in end, and why not end what's behind and head on with a start, with a great start. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jayanta. The first thing I find with your presentation is the name misled me. When you gave this Stockishly kind of a name, immediately my idea was something like money control kind of an app, but it's totally different.
So the
So-
idea is to make someone believe that it is related to someone which is included in investing. So because stocks are something which we invest in, stocks are something which if an investor becomes a stockholder, then it is then when he becomes important. So that is why we have brought this idea of Stockishly, and that is why I have been explaining this, and this is just to create an awareness that stock is not only for stocks, it is also for stockholders.
Okay. So basically, this is an app for, say, on one side you will have the entrepreneurs, and the other side will be the venture capitalists. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, but these venture capitalists in India, what I find, it's a very minuscule thing. Okay. So, how do you really get to it?
So for that we need to know that a venture capitalist or someone who is interested in investing is not someone who has to be from a very big background or someone from a great company. He or she can be anything who wants to invest in a potential idea. So we are bringing in. We will be listing out this this interested investors, and then we'll be giving them credit scores, which will help them grow their profile in the app as well.
Yeah, that brings to the next question about credit scores.
Yes, sir.
You will be getting the credit scores from Crisil?
So we'll be having a team of researchers and analysts. So we'll be looking into people who are actually investing, who have been in the field for long, and then they know how to invest. So we'll be giving credit scores to the one who are not actually fake, because people are there who will. If this is an online world where people actually fake a lot of things, and if I'm a person who wants to fake it, then I can just directly be like, you can just give me the idea, I'll look into it. But if I'm giving the money or not, that is a different thing. So that this credit score is just brought into idea so that the credibility is there, so that this is a genuine platform and this can be proved to everyone.
Okay, you mean to say that the credit score will be like it is your team who gives the credit scores.
Yes,
It's
sir.
not the credit score that we know of.
So the credit score, so we'll have a different team for setup for that as well, and then we'll be doing the research. This is just an idea of bringing a credit score credibility idea.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Sandeepan.
As sir rightly said, your title is very misleading. Even I thought initially when you started with your PPT, I thought it was something to do with stock and share market. So I felt the title that you have given was misleading. But anyway, I will ask you a very simple question from a investor's point of view. Tell me, why will I use your app? What is the unique selling point of your app? I am an investor. I would like to invest something. Now, why will I use your app? What is so special about it? Because I don't see much of data kind of thing in your thing.
Yes, sir. So,
It's an application. So an investor asks you, what is the unique selling point? Why would I use this app?
Sir, because this is the first point would be because this is the first of its kind, and because it is not only related to investors, and it is not only related to one form of the business. It is also related to the ones who are coming up with new ideas. It is because we have to bring and break the loophole that we have in our society, that only someone who is investing, is going to the investor and asking for their investment, is the one who is credible. But there are people who want to bring a, and this is not only for the long term goals, it is also for, if someone is looking for a seasonal let's say seasonal event, or say, let's say seasonal idea, then they also can approach to it, and they also can come to it and then have a connection with them. So that way, sir, and this the unique selling point would also be that this app is going to be the first of its kind, and it is an app where the general credibility will be there. The ones who are entrepreneur, the ones who are starting it, they'll also have a credit score. They'll also be someone who is profound, who is genuine. So an investor would definitely want to invest on something which is more genuine, which is more credible, which is asking for your credibility as well. So that way it makes it a little unique, sir.
Have you done enough research that it is the first of its kind?
So I've done my research. The app is first of its kind, but then there were websites that were built for this. There were shows that were done for this. There were international show called Shark Tank that was there. But then this app, the app in its form, is the first of its kind.
Yes, sir.
So you made a survey.
Yes,
Sandeepan was raising. So you made a survey
yes, sir.
that no such parallel apps or websites are available
So
to bring investors and potential idea makers together.
No, sir. So the idea is this idea is totally different. It is not done where an entrepreneur is also listed. An entrepreneur and an investor both are listed. So this kind are not there, sir. Websites are there, sir. I've done research with them, but then there are no such apps that are available.
Okay, so just let us know what would be your precise role. Say you got one potential entrepreneur, other side you got one investor, medium or large scale investor. What would be your precise role there?
So
so that something useful comes out of it.
So my role is basically, because in the beginning I also mentioned this is a service based app. So my role would be bringing the both together, sir, and bringing a potential business out of it, because we have the youths in our country have been getting investors, but from foreign. So we have been getting a lot of startups and a lot of things, but we are getting investment mostly from foreign. So I want this idea is basically brought into light so that this can be done domestically, and this can actually start giving startups to everyone who needs it, and actually making the country a self-reliant one.
At the same time, I would like to raise a little concern. During your presentation, you said in our countries, fakes are more than the real one, etc. So that's not true actually. So let's grow up with positive ideas about our nation. Right.
Yes, sir.
All the best.
Thank you, Jayanta. All right, so moving on with the next participant, we have Debarga Sarkar from St. Anthony's College, and he will also be presenting from the center itself. Over to Debarga Sarkar.
Good morning, respected judges and my dear participants. So today I'm going to talk about Today I'm going to talk about the drug abuse problem in Meghalaya. So first of all, the question that comes to mind. So first, the question that comes to our mind is, what is drug abuse? So the definition of drug abuse is varied, and one simple definition cannot entail what drug abuse represents. So drug abuse is the uncontrollable, irrational, and excessive use of drugs that lead to the central nervous system, that leads to the psychological and physiological harm, and it affects the central nervous system, which produces changes in moods, levels of awareness, or perceptions or sensations. Secondly, classifications of drug abuse. First of all, the public health definition. The public health definition looks at drug abuse on two levels: the individual and the societal level, laying lots of stress on the role of society. Then, the cultural or vernacular usage. The cultural or vernacular definition views drugs abuse strictly as personal or behavioral problem. The medical term lays emphasis on the individual along its definition of drug abuse. Now we have the criminal justice definition. The criminal justice definition looks at drug abuse as a purely criminal activity. Whether the definition of drug abuse may be, the subsequent result is the same. It causes social and health problems, unsafe sexual contacts, violence, deaths, accidents, suicides, physical dependence, and psychological addiction. Then classification of drugs. We have licit drugs. Now, licit drugs are legally allowed for consumption by the government. Illicit drugs fall under the narcotics, drugs, and psychotropic substances, which is NDPS of the country, and is punishable if you are found selling or consuming these drugs. Now, these are the substances that are used in the state of Meghalaya, and these are addictive substances, which can lead to addiction and a potential drug abuse case in the future. First of all, we have stimulants. A stimulant is a substance that raises levels of psychological or nervous activity. We have cocaine, diet pills, and amphetamines. Then we have depressants. Now, depressants are substances which reduce arousal and stimulation. We have barbiturates and also alcohol, but we are going to talk more about the drug abuse in this scenario. Then we have hallucinogens, a diverse group of drugs that alter a person's awareness of their surrounding, as well as their own thoughts and feelings. We have LSD, we have peyote, and we have PCP here. Then we have narcotics, a substance used to treat moderate to severe pain. We have codeine, heroin, opium, and morphine. Then we have inhalants. Inhalants are volatile substances that produce chemical vapors that can be inhaled or induce psychoactive or mind-altering effect. We have adhesive glue and connecting fluids, which are more commonly used in the state, if we talk about. Now, these are some of the news flashes from over the years in the state of Meghalaya. First of all, we have this particular article which says that as per the survey by Impulsive NGO Network, the number of drug addicts in the state has reached 17,833 this year, as against around 2,000 5 years ago. Then we have drug addict sees 5-time jumps. Drug addict sees 5-time jumps in the state of Meghalaya, which says that the drug abuse cases have increased 5 times in the state. Then we have the need of a policy for drug abuse. Then we have drug abuse on the rise in Meghalaya. There are all the news flashes from different reputed newspapers. Then we have drug abuse on rise because of COVID-19. And we have drug smuggling on the rise in the state. So what is the solution? Now, as we have looked, the current situation is grave and concerning because drug abuse is not only harming this particular individual, but is also harming the society as a whole, and the family especially is getting hit by this particular abuse. which is hampering our growth as a society. So I'd like to propose the idea of the establishment of an organization that would solely work for the education, upliftment, awareness, and reduction of drug users in the state. Now, one question that might come to your mind is, how is this organization different from the other organizations that are currently working in the state? So first of all, this particular organization will work on the ground level, meaning that the high-risk groups, there are certain high-risk groups which I'm going to talk about. The certain high-risk groups are most vulnerable to the drug abuse conditions because the situations that they are living or the nature of their work, they are more vulnerable to the drug abuse cases in the state. So first, what we will do in this organization is we will take up members from each and every segment of the society, or particularly from the high-risk groups. And they will be talking about their own community. They will be keeping an active watch on their particular community. Like if we are talking about a high-risk group, like children who are living in the street, they are very susceptible to drug abuse. So we will have a person, or we will have a child, not a child actually. We will have somebody who has seen this thing or have dealt with this thing, a professional, I would say, who has researched on this ground, and he can give us more insight on this particular situation or the plight of the children that are in the streets right now. Thirdly, I want to propose the idea of making an app. Now we'll be creating this app with the help of IT professionals. Now what this app will do is, in this app, we'll have all the informations. Now what informations? The informations of how many peoples have we identified, like who are drug users, and we have counseled them, and then we have sent them to rehabilitating centers or caregiving centers or aftercare centers. So we'll be having that information, which will be private, which will only be accessible by the members of the organization, so that it's not open to public, because many people prefer it that way. Then we would like to have in this organization a platform. In this platform, we will have counselors. Now, counseling is a very important step to reverse drug abuse, I would say. So counseling, in this platform, we will have counselors from different sections, like health professional counselors, who have specialization in their particular field. So we'll have counselors. And then if you are someone who is a drug abuser, if you're using drugs, and if you want to seek help, then you can come to this app, and then you can directly access the counselors, which will be very private, because some people like to keep it that way, because of the stigma in the society leading to drug. If somebody is using drugs, we just tag them as like, he's a scoundrel of the society, or he's a scum of the society. So I think we'll be giving that privacy, because, and you might also have this question that why not the other apps like Zoom or this other online apps that we have. Well, these apps are centralized apps, and these apps, we have seen in some cases that the data has been leaked. So this particular app will solely work for this particular problem, that is drug abuse, and will give them a platform so that they can come and share their problems and seek counseling. And if they want rehabilitation, we can do that later. Then I would like to say that this app will also have a section where we will have, where we'll be taking, I would like to explain, is that when somebody is using drug in a family, it's not only the person that is being affected, but the entire family. If it is somebody who is the breadwinner of the family, then we see that his children or his wife or anybody who is under his care is greatly stuck by that. So it is a pattern that we have seen over the years, that when the breadwinner of the family starts using drugs, what happens are the members of the family, because of the lack of proper guidance or the
You have 1 minute to sum up.
or the lack of money in the family, they tend to use drugs. This is a pattern that we have seen. So what we'll be doing is we'll be opening a section in the app where we'll be having different sections, like from class 1 to 10. If you have your uniforms, you can give your uniforms here, and then we'll be using these uniforms and we'll be distributing these uniforms among the needies. Can I continue? So I would like to introduce Umid to you all. Now, the motto of Umid is arise, awake, and say no to drugs, which is taken from the very famous quote by Swami Vivekananda, arise, awake, and stop not, till the goal is reached. Then we have service to man is service to God, guidance, we have counseling, we have awareness, we have motivation, a drug-free Meghalaya, and we have rehabilitation. So the objectives. The first objective is to create awareness. Now we will be creating awareness, we'll be using social media, because especially in the times of COVID-19, we cannot go out and we cannot reach out to people. We can, but it's minimized to a very small level. So we'll be using social media apps to create awareness. We'll be focusing on the highest groups that are street children, as I've already said, they are very vulnerable. Then we have women's who use drugs are, more often we have seen that we tend to discriminate them. And women have a kind of role in the society. And if a woman is coming out and saying that I am a drug abuser, I want to get treated from this particular addiction, we tend to discriminate them. Then we had the sex workers in the state. They are very vulnerable. Then we have, this objective is also advocacy for the welfare of those who are suffering from drug abuse. Then we have identification of the people who are using drugs. We have counseling, and at last, we have the de-addiction courses. Then we have the organizational structure. So first of all, we'll be working in collaborations with government, which is very important because they are the top tier in this hierarchy of the society. We have to be collaborating with the governments. A small example is we can collaborate with the MLAs or the Darbar Snogs. And then we can also collaborate with the police officers, because if we see that somebody is selling drugs, or then we can directly report them to the government institution, so that they can take strict actions against them. Then we have the counselor. Now the counselor is going to be somebody who, especially for somebody who is using drugs, as I said, we'll be using counselors, medical professionals. I would also like to recruit counselors who have had drug abuse problems in the past, and they have helped themselves and they have come out of it, and now they are successful people in the society. I would like to quote an example of Neil Jaitley. He was using drugs, and then he's the manager at National AIDS Control Organization. He was an active drug user. At a point of his life, he wanted to kill himself. He was at a very bad situation, but then he pulled himself out of it, and now he's here. So we can use those people as counselors so that they can have an insight about the situation. Then we absolutely have to collaborate with rehabilitation centers. Then the technological aids, as I have already mentioned, and the finance. So for the finance, there can be two things. First of all, there can be donations. The donations can be of two types. We have monetary donations and we have goods. Now the goods will directly go to that section of the app where we have kind of marginalized, or we have optimized the needs, and based on that needs, we'll be distributing the goods among others. Thank you. So that's it.
Thank you, Devarga. Your concept is good, but it was not concise enough to be in 10 minutes. You used almost 14 and a half minutes. You have thought of this concept keeping Meghalaya in mind. That is very obvious.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do you implement it? What is your implementation plan?
Yes, sir. So first of all, we'll have to create an organization, as I said, Umid. So Umid will be, first of all, we'll have this different kinds of mottos and everything, which is very necessary for the organization. And then we'll be going to the places where there are highest groups. Like the highest groups, they can be street children, or there can be women who are using drugs. We can go there and we can talk to them, and we can encourage them to join the organization. First of all, like the members who we see can bring a change in this particular pattern. We'll be recruiting them in the organization so that they can keep a strict watch on their particular community. And if there's any disruptions in the community, if there's anything happening, they can come up to the organization and they can say that this is there. So we'll go there, we'll reach out to them, we'll take the rehabilitation centers and we'll counsel them. First of all, we'll counsel them, and seeing or looking at the level of addiction, we'll try to put them in rehabilitation centers. So that is the basic. And the app, it's a different.
Okay, thank you. So,
Okay, so you are planning to set up an organization, right?
Yes, sir.
Which will combat with the drug abusing and also with illicit drug trafficking.
So the illicit drug trafficking is a small part of it. The mainly it is going to talk about the drug abuse and solve their problem.
Prevention of the drug abuse, right?
Yes, and if we see that there is a pattern that this person is saying that I'm getting the drugs from this particular source, because most of the times they don't come up and say that I'm getting drugs from this particular person because they might be in problem, their families might be threatened. So if we can devise a way, because we are working in collaboration with the police department and stuff, so we'll try, this will be a very small part of the organization. We'll try to get to the root of that, because if we can catch the source, then we can totally eradicate the drug abuse problem from the society. So I think that's how, it's a small part of the organization.
So what I make out of that is that your organization is basically targeting
Yes.
to generate a awareness
Yes.
over the youths.
Yes, and the ones who are struck by this crisis of drug abuse, especially the ones who are using it and their families,
Okay.
or who are the high-risk groups.
Okay. ठीक है? It's okay.
Basically, you are trying to make an NGO, right?
Yes,
It should be a non-governmental organization and a non-profit
yes.
institution. Now, everything was fine, but one thing I was not very convinced actually in your finance part. So can you please elaborate on that?
Yes, sir, because the one...
From where, because if it is a non-profit organization, you're not getting any profits from it. But some point of time you have to start this organization. For that you need some money. So what would be the approximate, cost, and from where will you get it?
So first of all, if we are trying for the initial startups, we can go for fundraising. Like we can, because we have social media and we won't be using any money for that. We can just create a template and we can post it around the social media so that people are aware of this.
Fundraising in the sense from
different apps or from social medias like GoFundMe's. There are different kind of apps. So we'll get the initial money to kickstart the program, and then slowly and gradually we can start it. Because for the other part, like donations, you can definitely donate. Which is basically both of it is going to be donations. Like one is from donations and the other is also from donations. Will be more of a anonymous kind of a situation if it is fundraising.
But donations, as you are focusing on donations, but donation is the situation is very different, because donation is after all donation.
Yes.
Some may come forward, some may not come forward. So in that case, what is your backup plan? What is the plan B? Suppose you have come to me, I'm saying no, I don't have that money with me. So what is the plan B if in case donation fails?
So I think donation is the first, and if we fall out from that, we can go to the government. We can go to this government sectors, the outreach programs, and we can start with the initial money. If they can give us some money, we can start with that, or we can go and reach. It's an out as I was talking about Neil Jeffrey, as he said, he was a drug user. So if we see that there is no money in hand, we can start by building an organization where we go to the users and then we link them to the rehabilitation centers, and slowly and gradually, when we have a reputation, I think so we can we can go to the government for funds, or we can go to banks and stuff to take loans and stuff, so that we have initial startup, and then slowly and gradually, when it grows bigger, we'll try to
That's
work through it.
Okay. As we can see that the Gen Z group now is the easiest target. So how would your organization help them from getting influenced?
I think, ma'am, we are going to talk about the drugs that we see. Most of the Gen Zs, they use alcohol, and if they're using drugs, then we'll try to the only thing that we can do in this situation, because if a person wants to use drugs, we cannot be present there, but we can help them by awareness generally. And if you are using drugs, or if you have used drug for the first time or the second time, you can directly come to the app. You can get counseling, because it's going to be privatized. They're going to be private. It's a private organization for app, first of all. So you don't have to worry about your data getting leaked. So if you want to get counseled, like if you have used drugs 1 or 2 times, which you see that they use it for experiments, they take the drugs and they are like, oh, now we are kind of addicted, but we don't want to go that way. So they can come to the app and they can take counseling from our counselors, which will be totally private. You'll be counseling in privacy. You'll be sitting in your home at the comfort of your home, and nobody has to know, but you can get counseled. So I think that's how we'll be dealing with it. And awareness is definitely something.
All right. Thank you, Debarga. Thank you so much. And we are left with just one more performance. But before that, we'll take a 2 minutes break and then we will call on Ruchira Gupta to present her presentation. We'll just take a 2 minutes break.
Yeah.
Welcome back, viewers. You are connected with us celebrating the 75 years of Indian independence in the Azadi Ka Amrut Mahotsav. We are conducting the Ideathon competition and we are left with just one more participant. So I request Ruchira Gupta to kindly come forward. Ruchira Gupta.
Yeah, your time starts now.
Good afternoon to you all. I'm Ruchira Gupta from Govt University. So today I'm here to present an existing idea, but how to implement that idea. First of all, before I begin my idea, I would want every one of you, the viewers, and everyone present here to take 1 minute time to think whether you had a general English paper in colleges or university level. If yes, then is that general English paper still useful, or have any of us used that general English paper in our day-to-day life? Probably the literature people, yes, they or in metaphors. So I think my idea is based that there should be specific English that is specifically organized and managed for people of various fields. So let me introduce you. First question that rises. ESP is the abbreviation of English for specific purposes. And we see that it is not a various other fields that thought that who thought that we require something else apart from the things that are already being provided to us by our colleges. In simple words, it is based on designing courses to meet the learner's needs. Now we all have these questions: what is the learner's needs? Now, as a learner, if I'm a learner and I'm from a psychology background, or I'm from a law background, or maybe an engineer, I would think that English is only for the literature people. It is just a time pass. Maybe we can just go to the class inside and relax, and okay, we get to read a novel. That's it. How am I going to implement it? Where do I require it? So we tally with the students' needs and bring out a syllabus that will cater to their needs and which will help them improve in their day-to-day life. And we practice it in real life. Next, now we come to the origins. Now, since I've already said that ESP is an existing concept, I'm just trying to explain it further or trying to implement it in our country. The origins were in the early origins can be traced back to the end of World War II. So many people were found who were moving, or they were moving from this country to that country, and they were trying to incorporate the language distinctions and the various other language cross-culture communication in order to do business and for other sharing. Even for simple communication, they required a lingua franca, which means a side, one language that would blend. Like here in India, we have many lingua francas. We have Hindi. If no one understands any language, at least we have Hindi, where some of the things of this of one group of people will understand the other group of people. So that way, English became a lingua franca between two groups of people who were moving from this country to that country, this state to that state. So this is so they found it very difficult to understand the literature, very beautifully, creatively written languages of Shakespeare, John Donne, which did not make it very useful for them because they required it for business purposes, for daily communication. So specifically, they wanted that something should be there, a language should be there, or a stream should be there where we can find ourselves comfortable and we learn it easily without making it, without its grassroots. Now we come to the non-native speakers viewed English as a bridge to respond to their needs of cross-cultural communication. As I already have spoken about this, there were speakers from all over the country going to London, going to various other parts of the world. So in that case, they all found it very difficult to communicate with each other. So they thought that English would be the best way to communicate with each other. And in order to communicate, we need a simple, structured language and not very, very beautifully structured, not very creative. So they wanted something very specific. The first boost of ESB came from the register analysis, scientific and technical writing. So register analysis was something that was developed, and it was something that was very, very technical. Means it was based on skills, the learning skill, the listening, writing, reading, speaking. So it was not only focused on how a person develops the writing skills or only listening. It was a multidisciplinary subject. So the people who initiated the program, they began to think and spoke to people who was willing to take up this course, or who was willing to learn English as part of their daily use and not just part of their academic level. So they were asked why did they want this, how did they want, and in what basis, how much time can they give to learning that, if they had other programs or not. So it was kind of a register. They noted down everything, and that is the way it emerged eventually. So gradually, learners from every field found it necessary to learn technical language of the specific field and not general English. So, as I have already mentioned, learners, for example, lawyers. I can give an example. Lawyers would require language that might begin with "I hereby state," but they would not require something very, very flowery, like Shakespeare would say, "I, thou, thy." They would not require that. So learners found it very, very difficult to cope up with the general English papers that were given to them in their colleges or universities, or for that matter, even in high secondary studies, and they wanted something different. So this is here an example of register analysis, which I had already spoken. So the objective of the total discourse was detailing an experiment, making a recommendation, presenting hypothesis of a theory, presenting other types of EST, that is English for second language students, information. So it was made in a very lengthy process, and it was gradually taken everyone's consideration. Now I want to explain why is it required. Most of us don't know why we require English for specific purposes. I hardly think that here most of us we have not even heard about this paper, and even if we have heard it in a mild term. But it is very important for us to know that it is not enough to just learn poems, poetry, and novels or any grammar point just randomly. It is important and very essential for us to understand why are we learning and how can we implement a grammar point or a prose piece, and how can we implement and how do we understand how can we use it in our lives. So does that interest people studying other subjects apart from literature? Well, yes, it interests all other people from various other fields, be it engineering, be it law, be it a person doing graphic designing. It will cater to everyone's needs, and a syllabus will be created in such a manner that everyone will be considered. No one will be left out. So I have given here an example A student studying psychology may show little interest in John Donne's poem, but may be interested to learn topics related to phobia or mania.
Yeah, your time is up. Anyway, please continue.
So I'll just sum it up in a few words. Okay, now the last thing that everyone would think, that is general English, can general English teachers, the teachers we have in a college, teach this ESP course? Because if the course is there, who will teach? Yes, the teachers are very, very well equipped here with literature backgrounds. So if they are given a little bit of training about how to go about this, then I can assure that the teachers here will be able to cater to everyone's needs who are from science background, commerce background, business background, or to everyone. We wouldn't have to take any additional spoken English class for one purpose, and it would cater to everyone's needs. Yes, there has to be a separate syllabus because not everyone is interested in everything. For example, an engineer will not understand what a businessman would want to know. So each group of people would want to have a separate syllabus for each group of people. Now, why should India apply it? India should apply, in my opinion, India is a vast country and we are mostly second language speakers. And we all want to speak fluently in English. We all want English to be our first language. So, so in that context, every college should be taking up this course as part of their academic syllabus, so that they do not find it difficult to go and search elsewhere, and they do not want to spend more money. They do not have to spend more money on learning the same thing that can be taught as a specific purpose in other places. And lastly, I had a task prepared which would show that what are the things that are there which we consider. So here we all focus on what is the general objective of the language skill, whether it is a speaking skill, listening skill, reading skill, or writing skill, or a grammar point. So what is the specific objective? What is the specific objective of a group of people? So I have considered here a group of people who were studying psychology, and we did a research on that, and we found out that the psychology students were more interested in learning about phobia, in learning about mania, more of the psychological terms instead of general English. So based on that, their learning points, we created a teaching points, and the specific objective here was to speak with discourse markers. So discourse markers in very short term is like we use in daily speaking, we use firstly, secondly, thirdly, or frequently. These things are discourse markers. So I'm giving a very brief idea, and thus we go for a warm-up task. Like we give an idea what is going to happen in the task, what are you going to learn today. Then we proceed to the specific objective. We create ourselves in such a manner, or the teachers are created in like they are given in such a manner that they understand what is the specific objective and what needs to be taught to the students and how. So task 1, it initially grows from, it is a progressive task where the students first have a background idea, then have some more idea about what is going to happen, and then gradually they practice it and they do it on their own. So this is the progressive way of the tasks. So that is all, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Ruchira. The first question that comes to my mind is you have given a very good concept note about this English for specific purpose, but how can it be implemented and where can it be implemented?
Sir, as I have already spoken, that we do not need a specific place to be learned. It can be learned or taught in schools and colleges right from the early beginning, when a student is going from higher secondary studies to a disciplinary subject, maybe engineering, maybe a person wants to study psychology, or maybe graphic designing. anything. So that can be implemented. They have a general English paper. So instead of a general English paper, it can be shifted to English for specific purposes, where a syllabus will be created just for them.
Okay, thank you. Sir.
Okay, Ruchira, just to let me to understand the principle you want to introduce. So would you like to make some overwhelming changes in the normal English curriculum to make it much more specific for some particular purposes?
Yes.
Or just wait, or you want to let the normal English course to carry on in the academic curriculum, but there should be a separate course like ESP you are saying?
No, sir. I think that they are already burdened with too many papers, too many subjects. So I think that the general English paper, that may be
So you want to modify that?
No, I think it should be changed because
That's what I'm saying.
modification is.
You want to modify.
Changes being the same thing, but this paper should be a different paper, and they should all be able to understand it.
No,
like, they
now,
should take it.
now you are actually self-contradictory. Now you are actually contradicting yourself. First I say, would you like to introduce a new course on the English? Let the normal English to carry on. You said no, they are already overburdened with plenty of subjects. So let the present curriculum be modified. But now, just now, I found you saying there should be a separate course. So first of all, I want
So
you to
actually,
make
I
it very
want
clear.
to say that if it's a general English, they are already having a general English paper.
Okay.
So that cannot be excluded, like that cannot be done away with, but that can be shifted. Like it can be just given the name of specific
Okay.
purposes, and they have a modified syllabus instead of the same
Modified
syllabus that they are
syllabus.
continuing.
Modified syllabus, right?
Yes.
So that English, the normal curriculum should be modified to make it much more useful for some specific purposes, or it can be used randomly, indiscriminately everywhere.
No, sir. If a person is not interested in learning engineering codes and engineering things, then how will it be beneficial for them? So we have to see what are the streams that the colleges are offering, and based on that, the system should sit together and think that these people are having this type of subjects, so they can learn these are the things that they would require in their day-to-day life. For example, I can give you an example. Consider a psychology student who is studying psychology and may require speaking as the most important skill of their day-to-day life. So if they don't learn how the normal conversation goes, that is direct, indirect speech, how to note down, so that there will be something lagging in their language. So they will again go to some other place to learn spoken English. Again, they might take up another course thinking that I do not know how to write. So that will be a very lengthy process. So instead of that, we can cater to the needs of the people in itself.
Okay, just the last thing, just point out 3 limitations, I would say drawbacks of the current English curriculum. 3, 1, 2, 3.
Sir, yes. So the major drawbacks are that general English paper is for all and sundry. It does not, it may not interest everyone and anyone. So I, being from a literature background, may take
It's okay,
interest.
okay. Then next.
General English paper may not have as much as attendance as a specific, because they are already studying the subject, so it will interest them. So general English paper will not be that attentive in the class as it should be. And
First drawback you are saying is the general nature of the current curriculum, right?
yes.
Next drawback.
Next, I said that it will not be, the students will not find it as much attentive. Like they will not be.
Okay, I could make out not that interesting,
Yes.
right? Third.
Third, sir, I would say that general English paper is has a lot of things. It's too vast, and there are so many things in
Great,
general
got it.
English paper.
Sir, Sunil, sir.
Ruchira, your presentation was very good, but I would like to tell you, see, you have given this abbreviation to be ESP, but such sort of thing is already present in some institutes' management courses,
Yes.
okay, which is called technical English or soft skills. Okay, so in some curriculum we have this. So can you please tell me what is different from soft skills, technical English, and your ESP?
Sir, it is very similar. It's not very different, but it is just that people are not aware. I want to spread the awareness. So my idea here is to spread awareness that is already existing. Not many people here in India, or for that matter in my state, also are aware of this particular subject that is being circulated in other parts of the world. So here, if this is implemented in India, it will be of a great help to all the students who are mastering, who are pursuing their other fields of study. So
No, I would like to ask you how it is different from others, because we have this technical English, business writing, soft skills in some universities. Okay, so how is ESP different from this? Because you're telling that it will be like domain specific. Did you say domain specific? Like for psychology, it will be
Yes,
a student
sir.
of psychology. So that is domain specific. So how to differentiate it actually? Because one thing I'm not very clear, because we have this thing in my university's curriculum also I have, which is called soft skills, and the presentation that you have given, it almost covers some part of it. So how will be your one a little bit different? The concept is very good, no doubt about it, but how will your particular ESB be different from this?
Sir, as you have mentioned about soft skills and technical papers.
Huh.
So, sir, this paper also relates to technical terms. So, technical terms not only engineers use, technical terms may be used by psychological students and they call it psychological terms or medical terms. So, this is very technically, like, it's specifically made for them. So, they will understand what it is based on and how it is going to develop them personally. And soft skills include all the four: reading, writing, speaking. So it modules every person individually. It's not focusing on a students. It focuses on that particular people who are interested in taking a subject.
Okay.
But I wanted this to be involved in. Okay. I wanted this to be involved, that every person should have the opportunity to study what they feel that it is correct.
Irrespective of management or engineering or science, you would like this to be implemented in all the
Yes, sir.
courses or
Colleges and
streams.
universities.
Okay.
Or wherever.
Okay, and from what level would you like to suggest? From what level? 11th, 12th, degree, graduation, or
So I think from degree level,
From
because
degree level.
till 12th they should be getting a general idea.
Hmm.
But from degree level, most of the people take a different disciplinary subject. So from that point of time, they are learning something that they want to study. So why not giving them an English which they want to learn?
and you propose it to be compulsory, mandatory for all the students, at least for first 2 semesters.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Ruchira. So, with this, we've come to the end of the Ideathon, and I hand it back to Ajidda.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'd like to congratulate each and every participant in today's competition of Ideathon. Ruchira, many congratulations. It was so beautiful a paper that you have presented, and you answered all the questions from our judges. Would like to thank each and everyone and congratulate rather each and everyone for beautiful presentation. We started with food processing and concluded with art of communication. Ashwath P, Rahul Ghosh, Jayanta Chanda, Devarga Sharkar, and Ruchira Gupta. Congratulations to each and everyone. You all will be getting a prize, first, second, third, and all other rest too also will give them special encouragement prize, because it is really encouraging to see that even 5-6 people who have could gather that courage to present a paper. Otherwise, we could get we expected at least numbers to be running in tens. Anyway, we'll be announcing the result very soon. And before that, we'll be announcing the results of essay writing competition for the students of class 7 and 8. and also for the competition of content writing meant for the students of class 9 and 10. Just give us few minutes, 2-3 minutes will take, or is it ready? Ready. But anyway, before we conclude here, for the Ideathon, on behalf of Ramakrishna Mission Shillong, we extend a very, very hearty thanks to all our judges, Dr. Atunu Banerjee, Dr. Ayan Bhattacharjee, and Shantipan Chakravarti. Thank you so much for being with us. We thank all the participants also once again. And here are the results of essay writing competition. Class 7 and 8. So the first prize has been backed by, let's see, Anshika De from Penmount School. Second prize, Devashri Kalita from St. Mary's School. And third prize, Rathika Bhattacharjee from St. Mary's Higher Secondary School. These are the three prizes in essay writing competition. Besides these two, there are two special encouragement prizes also. Let's see who are the ones. Ridhima Majawadia from Army Public School has got a special encouragement prize. There is yet another special encouragement prize which has been backed by Aaron Simon from the same school, that is Army Public School. So that is the result of essay writing competition. We have got 5 prize winners out of around 50 people who joined in this competition. The result of content writing also is ready, and here it is. This is meant for the students of class 9 and 10. Let's see who has got the first prize. The first prize has gone to Manvi Saha from Army Public School 58 GTC. The second prize, Fiona M. Momin from Shillong Public School has got the second prize. And Rishita Paul from Govt Girls Higher Secondary School has got the third prize. There are 2 special encouragement prizes here also. One has gone to Shruti Sharma Roy from Holy Child Higher Secondary School, and the other special encouragement prize backed by Kritika Ray from Gorkha Secondary School. So these are the results of essay writing and content writing competition. And I think just in a minute, our result of the Ideathon also would be ready, and we'll be announcing it here only. Just a few minutes, maybe 2-3 minutes more, and we'll be giving you the results. So please stay tuned by the time we make ready the result of Ideathon. Hello, welcome back. And so here we are once again with the result of Ideathon. All, as I said, all 5 will be given a prize. So we have got first, second, third, and then the special encouragement prizes. So the first prize for Ideathon competition has been backed by, let's see on the slide. It has been backed by Jayanto Chundo from St. Anthony's College. The second prize has gone to Rahul Ghosh of St. Anthony's College. And the third prize, backed by the last participant, Ruchira Gupta from Guwahati University. The other 2 participants, Ashwath P. from ST Hindu College, Nagarcoil, Tamil Nadu, and Devargha Sarkar from St. Anthony's College also will get special encouragement prizes. So this is for information of all the participants of 47th Cultural Competition 2021, that all the participants will be given a certificate of participation. Usually we don't do it, but this year, since it is a very difficult time, we are giving each and everyone a certificate of participation, and this will be available in our website only using your participation ID or participant ID. You will have to download it. The moment it is ready, the information will be there in the website, and the information will go into in your mobile or in the form of text or maybe through email, and it will have to be downloaded, and if you want, you may print it. All the prize winners will be getting it offline. Prize winners will not get any digital certificate. There, obviously, the normal certificate will be given along with the prizes and mementos, whatever. The day of prize distribution is still not decided. As you know, it is still under very restricted conditions. So the moment it normalizes, the day will be finalized and it will be intimated through SMS. The prize distribution ceremony is expected not before September. And I congratulate each and every participant of this year's cultural competition, and thanks to each and everyone whoever have joined this year. We got around 1,000 participants joining in this competition, which itself is a very encouraging and very good number. So with these words, thank you so much once again. Thank you all the viewers. We got on the very first day more than 5,000 people viewing in YouTube and Facebook. Thank you so much and have a nice day.